In episode 6 of the show, a decade after we witnessed Damon and Lena dancing at Laena and Rhaenyra's wedding, we saw that Damon and Lena were now together and had 2 children and were expecting another. With the events that followed in the episode, we saw a side to Damon that we'd not seen before, and it got me thinking, did he actually love Lena? So I thought I'd break down, explain, and theorize about his true feelings. So let's get into it. Here is, was Damon truly in love with Laena Velaryon? Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. It's clear to see in the show that Damon's true feelings and affection lies with that of his niece, Rhaenyra Targaryen. From the very first episode, this was made clear to us, and we've seen the tension between them grow and develop as the episodes have gone on. However, at Laena and Rhaenyra's wedding, we saw him dancing with Lena, and in the most recent episode, we jumped forward a decade and they had 2 children, were together in Pentos, and were expecting a third. This episode showed us a completely different side to Damon in a few different ways. We saw that he was settled in Pentos, was away from conflict, decision making, and had grown to like the idea of the easy life. Living as guests in Pentos along with his family comfortably as long as they promised the protection of the area with his dragons. A way that I didn't imagine we'd see him, especially based off of the first few episodes where he was hungry for power and would use it to his advantage. We saw that Lena didn't want this kind of life. She wanted their unborn child to be born on Driftmark, and she wanted herself to eventually die a dragon rider's death. When Lena expressed this, Damon didn't respond and essentially waited for her to leave. I don't think he responded this way because he didn't care for her interests, but I think this speech that she gave about her desires is what showed that he did truly care for her later on in the episode, when he had to make a decision. Deep down, Damon mourns the love that he holds for his niece, and you get that impression with the isolation that he puts himself in and the distance that he keeps from his family. We also heard that he doesn't speak with his daughter Rhaenyra that much, to which Lena said he tries his best, meaning that this life that he's put them in, despite making out like he wants it, internally it's not where his true purpose is. Lena mentioned to Damon how she may not have been the wife that he'd wanted, insinuating that she knows that he wants to be with Rhaenyra. However, Damon responded with Lena's name as if to tell her to stop and that it wasn't true. So even though she may not be his true love, he does care for her feelings and doesn't want her to value herself any less than what she should. There was a brief moment in the episode where we saw Lena approach Damon on the roof, and he gave her a slight but loving smile and invited her to sit with him and made her feel comfortable. It was a look that couldn't hide true feelings behind, and you could sense that there was emotion behind it. The final time that we saw them together in the episode was when Lena was in the process of trying to give birth. We saw the maester state that he'd reached the limit of his art, and that the baby was not coming, to which Damon responded with, "My brave girl." The scene then mirrored what we saw in episode 1 of the show, where King Viserys had to make the decision on whether or not to try and get the baby in a different way, which did mean that there was a high chance that his wife would die. We saw Damon re-enter that place in his mind and understood the suffering that came with it, and he didn't make a decision because he didn't want to cost Lena her life, especially knowing the way that she wanted to go. However, Lena jumped ahead before a decision could be made, and instead went to her dragon Vhagar and commanded it using Dracarys to burn her. At this point, we saw Damon going after her and calling for her, to which when he then laid his eyes upon her burning, he looked mortified and heartbroken, showing that he'd just lost somebody that he did love. Whilst I believe that Damon is truly in love with Rhaenyra, I think he cared deeply for Lena to the point where he was prepared to live a peaceful life away from decisions and conflict with her and the children. We've seen that when he doesn't like something, he does something about it, like him killing his previous wife and even leaving her before then. I think the death of Lena will impact him, and whilst he might not grieve her to the degree that Viserys did Aemma, due to the fact that she isn't his true love, it was somebody that he cared for deeply, and that feeling was also reciprocated, so he felt it too. Rhaenyra is his true love, but I'd say Lena was definitely his second. So, there you have it. Was Damon truly in love with Laena Velaryon? If you want to see more videos on House of the Dragon, such as endings explained, theories and predictions, and character breakdowns, then click on the I button. Or alternatively, you can head over to my channel where you'll find them all. If you'd like to give me a show or movie that you'd like me to review next, then head over to my Twitter, @brainpilot_, and tweet me what show or movie you'd like me to review. And finally, if you'd like to see what I rate the latest movies that don't quite make the cut to getting a dedicated video, then head over to my Letterboxd profile. It's where I rate the latest releases in real time. Do you think Damon was truly in love with Lena? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.